Hey, what's up, guys? Stock Catcher here. What a day, guys. 900% ripper, ramper. I think it was closer to 1000%. I gotta go home and check, but wow. This is the thing, guys. There's gonna be a lot more plays like this, I'm telling you, in the future. Last week, CMBM, 1000% rip and ramper. Beyond Meat, 1400%. I'm almost 100% sure, guys. It's gonna be a lot more. So if you're not part of the team, I highly recommend subscribe, become YouTube member for live stream access, traded their custom scanners. That's how we found the stock, MTC, at 41 cent, custom scanners. So this is just crazy, guys. So first stock for the video today, you gotta check out is Webtoon. So Webtoon, this is a digital content company, like a comic company, right? And this is a stock that I actually made a video on not long ago. This was a month or two ago. I think it was like a month ago, and then ended up making a really big move after hours. I remember they had Walt Disney deal. And this is a developing thing with Walt Disney, right? And when you're talking about the fundamental, like in terms of the revenue angle, this stock annual revenue is over $1.3 billion. And the growth is over 5% as well yearly. So I think this is a really strong sector going into the next decades, in my opinion. I think digital graphics, AI, cartoons, Webtoon, this is gonna massively explode. I mean, it's already exploding the past couple of years ever since the pandemic, right? Ever since people are staying home more, as well as people are getting more into these type of fields. And I'm telling you, I think this type of digital art stuff is only gonna get more and more stronger demand, more and more profit potential as well. We're talking about Marvel angle, Star Wars potential as well. So next stock we got to talk about is AST. So AST, this is a stock I've been talking about for a long time now. I was pretty much one of the first people to talk about this at $1, and then this ended up just ripping face, going crazy. I think to $28. This was in the beginning of the year, and then after that, and they made a big pullback down, and then it was consolidating, and then I talked about it again. I made a video. It was around $3 or $2. Ended up just ripping face to 20 again, and then now it's at $1 again. It's around $1.50. So this is a stock that I'm thinking this is definitely more macro, longer term stock. This is a stock that you have to think in terms of weeks, in terms of months. This is not a stock that you're gonna be scalping, in my opinion, right? I hope people understand what I'm saying. We're just gonna be like, going for a 5-cent gain or a 2% gain, like a quick in and out. I think this is definitely more a longer term, slower play, especially considering the float angle as well, right? So AST today, actually the price action on it was really nice. I was looking at it all day, and then it was breaking out over 150 with huge volume confirmation. This was not just quick, like 30-second pop. This was actually sustained push. So AST really was nice today, but after hours it kind of sold off. But it's not done, in my opinion, guys. It's not done at all. So we got to see that 150 break again with nice volume. We got to see that huge accumulation type of pattern over that 150 resistance. And when you're talking about AST, actually, as of October, like a month ago, right, they actually have a lot of Bitcoin. I believe it's close to 6,000 Bitcoin. You could check. I mean, people could double check that via subsidiary. But this stock, AST, in terms of the potential acquisition and scaling strategy angle as well, this stock you have to watch, guys. A lot of big social media names are really bullish on as well, right? Like Mike Alfred and a lot of these smart, big money, right? So next stock we got to talk about would be Offerpad. So Offerpad is a stock that was a really nice gainer for me. I remember this was a multi-day setup idea, right? And then ended up just ripping face, going crazy. And then look at it right now. It's kind of making kind of like a cap bounce type of setup where it went from close to $6. It's trading at $1.70 right now, $1.80. This stock is in that Web3 AI crypto token, that type of angle. And again, just like I said earlier in the video, this sector is really strong in my opinion. I know people are saying we're kind of in a, maybe a bubble in terms of AI. But my personal opinion is that I don't think AI is only going to get more and more bigger and more bullish, right? So when we're talking about ST, potential catalyst angle, token buyback, or we could talk about potential that AI startup announcement angle. So one thing you want to watch for the OPAD is liquidity, as well as the volume, the price sustaining, right? Because the stock, like I said, is kind of in a cap bounce territory. You don't want to see the stock making a falling knife type of pattern where it breaks underneath that support. So that's something you want to consider. Maybe draw out your lines, technical lines, and monitor the stock. So next stock, we gotta talk about Rani Therapeutics. So Rani stock, this is a stock that I made many posts about, and then it just ended up ramping. Looking at it right now, it's a clear multi-day setup. You want to see the stock hold these levels. This had recent major licensing collaboration deal with Japan when you're talking about the oral delivery of antibiotics, right? So in my opinion, right, the bullish thesis for Rani would be if Rani had that oral biologic delivery platform when you're working at a larger macro type of scale, I think it really would address a lot of problems in terms of the injection across many therapeutic, this type of category. So when we're talking about Rani stock, this is not just technical play. You want to really look up the potential catalyst angle, as well as check the dilution risk as well, right? When we're talking about biotech, this is a big tip, guys. When you're dealing with bio stock, you have to keep an eye on cash runway. You got to keep an eye on burn rate. You got to keep an eye on dilution, S3, the filings. So, because I'm telling you from experience, a lot of times I got caught, with my pants down. This was like a long time ago when these bio stocks, I think it was QLGN or something like that, they dropping offerings, they're dropping, these type of bad news. So next stock we got to talk about is AREC. So AREC, this is a stock, it's more of that, this type of earth mineral type of sector. Remember I talked about the last video. I said in the last video that these stocks, such as, for example, CRML, LAC, XPON, UAM, why all these type of stock, AREC, WWR, this is not done in my opinion. These sector, they've been a really big, not drop, but like in terms of pullback. And it's at those base levels where the run started. You could verify yourself. Go to the chart on the stocks that I just mentioned. And AREC right now, it's around 350. I'm outside right now, so I can't check. But it's at that level. And then actually, if you look at the news it had this week, it's a massive news where the stock actually sold off. The stock sold off. And now it's kind of consolidating. So this is a stock you have to highly consider adding to your watch list, or maybe, thinking about potential swing angle as well, right? So next stock we got to talk about, guys, is MTC. So MTC, this stock is a swan. So, and if you're new to the channel and you don't know what that is, that's basically, in my opinion, when a stock just rips over 300%, I consider that a swan. Some people say it has to go over 1,000%, but I don't think that's the case, because it's normal for a stock to go up 100% in the pre-market, whereas good news, or it just has a burst of volume. Going up 100% is pretty common actually when you're talking about small caps, you're talking about penny stocks. But for a stock to go 400, 300, 400, 500%, that's not going to happen a lot. So that's pretty much a swan in my opinion. And I catch a lot of these guys. I'm not saying to brag, but I'm just saying you could verify yourself. Every single week now at this point, I'm catching 300, 500% ripper. And I'm 100% sure that, you can't say 100% because nothing's guaranteed, but I'm almost sure that there's going to be a lot more plays like that in the coming weeks or months. 500%, 1,000%, 300%. So MTC, this one, you want to see that 250 level hold. That 250 level, look at those quarter intervals. After a stock makes a really big run up, you want to check those psychological levels, because a lot of short sellers are underwater usually when a stock just goes up this much. Anytime a stock goes over 200%, you gotta flip the angle and think about the bear angle. Think about all these bears shorting underwater. So there's big money to be made if you use psychology to your advantage, right? A lot of people don't think about psychology. They just think about candlesticks. They just think about technicals, indicators. Psychology is very, very big tool that you could utilize to make a lot of money, guys. So MTC, I'm gonna be keeping a close eye on the stock, for continuation potential possibility, right? Because Usually when a stock makes a big move like this during the pre-market, either 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., it doesn't really matter, as long as it doesn't fade where it just goes back all the way back down, round tripping. Oftentimes there's actually potential where you could scalp it for good gains, or not even a scalp. There are a lot of times where they end up ripping dollars depending on the price action. So this is one that I'm going to be monitoring in tomorrow, right? I might even get up a little earlier for the live stream, maybe like 20 minutes earlier. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope people just having a great month so far. There's a lot of rippers, and there's going to be a lot more, guys. So Stock Catcher signing out, and have a great night, guys. I'm going to be seeing you tomorrow morning. Let's find another swan, guys. Good night, everybody.